What's up, Union Arena players? This is Kyle D, better known as Universities, and today we have a deck. Well, we have none other than the big top 32 players of none other than the Dallas Bandai Fest regionals. So it took me tireless time to get all the data here for you guys, and I want to thank all the players that helped get this information over to us as soon as possible. And I hope to do this in more events in the future so that we can have this access like this. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So first off, we have Cardfest Union Arena Draft. It is in a draft phone right now, but once this video is live, it will be public for everybody to enjoy. So first place, we had Code Geass. Second place, Full Metal Alchemist, Mustang. Third place, Code Geass. Fourth place, Green Bleach, which is surprising for a lot of players because they've written off Toshi Kenpachi off for a while, but it's really awesome to see that they did a fantastic job in getting to fourth place. I know they were kind of undefeated until the last round, and then they kind of got bopped. So their tiebreakers brought them down, which was kind of sad. Then we did have Purple JJK. Then we have Renji Rush, sixth place. Then we had Green One Punch Man, which is very unique because, again, a lot of players weren't really expecting Green One Punch Man. But again, if you play the deck differently than what everybody else is doing, as long as you can keep defensives going, and then when it's time to actually kill your opponent in one punch, yeah, that's what you do. You just clear them out in one punch and then they lose. So then you do have none other than the blue JJK Sukuna list. You have One Punch Man, then you have none other than JJK, Toto, Full Metal Alchemist, the Mustang build, Toto, Renji Rush as well. Then you do have another Mustang, blue JJK, and then Green One Punch Man. To see two Green One Punch Man is kind of crazy to me. And then other decks that we should probably highlight, we got one Purple Code Geass, one Kento Namami list. We do have none other than Asta taking 21st. Then we had a Sisters One Punch Man build. Then we also had none other than the Knights, Integrity Knights, which again, most players would not have expected that to get in the top 24, but that's great job, Azulam. He plays exclusively, well, a lot of the times at Rumble-A-Rama events, so that's kind of cool to see. Then we have Full Metal Alchemist, another big Sukuna, 29th, and then we have like trickles in like Yellow One Punch Man and stuff like that. It's kind of cool to see all this great breakdown, Green One Punch Man, Bleach. Wow, the thing glitched a bit, but yeah, you have so many tops in the top 32, it's not even funny. So just taking a look here as it got broken down, let's look at the whole, shall we? First off, this is 29th place, and as you guys can see, as I was updating, these lists were populated in the EX Burst, so you guys can check them out even just by naturally looking. But taking a look here, they are playing three big Sukunas, which is really interesting to me. They're playing really focusing on using the fingers and getting 7-cross Sukuna live as soon as possible, which makes a lot of sense, right? You use Yuji to bounce, you use this Sukuna to help dig these and the shrines, and then you just lock down. Again, a lot of good benefits from this deck. Really cool to see when you have big Sukuna make 29th place. That's not a under accomplishment, really, at the end of the day. Now, Integrity Knights, which was Adam's 25th list, I think. Again, a lot of people written off Alicization in general, but the Integrity Knights, Symphysis, she's just being able to choose one character with 2000 DP on your opponent's front line. If you have both Yugo and Kirito, you can remove a 4000 DP. Kirito double attack is very scary for 2 action points. Again, coming in active, being able to attack twice as long as you have an Alice and Yugo, which is very common for this deck. Just really powerful. It's a slept on deck, and again, a lot of players have to play the deck right and have a good rep on it, knowing your matchups and everything like that. I don't know how they're going to go into the Rurouni Kenshin meta, but again, just taking a look here, just pretty solid across the board. Now, we do have none other than, this was interesting, the Esper Sister deck, but they teched in 2 big Saitama, 5 cost. They teched in 3 of the 3 cost Saitama, 2 of the Genos, and they just went to town from there. I'm a little surprised on the spice here, because I wouldn't expect them to kind of do that. Usually the sisters want to do that, just do their own thing. But really good job on the tech for the 23rd place player. I don't have their name, sadly. I just really didn't get the chance to get those. Now we do have Red Asta with Noel, and again, Red Asta gets a boost, and then we kind of just shuck luck, and then we're just going to town from there because we have the best aggressive package. Once we get the new what was it, this card that was removed, so if we get, once we get that next month, oh, this deck is probably going to be ridiculously fast, and we probably take out Sea Dragon's Lair, and then we play Mimosa, so just be ready for that. The change up in the list is not bad, and I think Asta is very well placed, and I think a lot of players will be swapping into Asta just because, again, it has some great matchups for aggression and stuff like that. So we'll have to see long-term wise, right? Now, again, let's see. We got another Kento Namami list. So, again, I wanted to showcase Kento because a lot of players wasn't expecting Kento to do anything this format. But with Kento being able to neg the board and make unfavorable trades, it's just really good. And then, once you get to 15, this thing has impact, double damage, and becomes a 5k innately. So your opponent has to spend resources to try to remove this. And again, this one, just being able to control and being able to say your character can't attack for the next turn, really solid across the board. Now we got Code Geass, which really intrigues me, is this is just Volume 1. There is no Volume 2 cards in this list, and they've just strolled up with Volume 1. I don't understand 18th place, what you were going through your head, but if you are watching this video, let me know down in the comments what went through your head just to play the default old list and not tech in any new cards. Did you not get them or something like that? Or you just went like, you know what, I'm going to play Gawain and just go at it. Let me know down in the comments, actually, if anybody knows why this was a thing. But really good job playing basically what everybody's written off as an older deck now. I mean, hey, Gawain can do shenanigans. Now we do get into Green One Punch Man. This deck is scary. Certain matchups, yeah, if it faces a lot of aggression, which we are not in a super aggressive format right now, rephrase that, Rurouni Kenshin is going to change that. But with Saitama being able to clear security like it does, and just control the game until it reaches the climax of play, Saitama for reduced costs, and it's got impact 3 or damage 7. If this thing gets in an attack with no blocks, anything like that, this thing is just going to town and just leaving your opponent in the dust. Now we do have Sukuna. This one was playing a little bit of a small level 7 with the 5 costs with the finger package, which isn't bad, right? I mean, if one or more Sukuna fingers reduce the energy requirement of all Sukuna cards in your hand by 1. If you have 4 or more Sukuna fingers in your sidelines, do it by 2. I kind of see where they're going with it. I mean, just getting one, reduce the energy requirement of all Sukunas, just getting one of these out, it's not a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's what you want to build the deck right. There's no real wrong answer, and I think it's pretty cool where we're at. Now we do have Mustang. Mustang is just one of those decks that has no real wrong build, and the ability that it has of scaling removal, because again, with Riza, you kind of minus things to a point where Mustang isn't really discarding cards in their hands. Again, everyone kind of just written off this deck, but after a bit, this deck has become one of the meta contenders. I don't know how it's going to handle Kenshin, but it'll be very interesting to see. Renji Rush. Again, this appeared, what, not too long ago, actually, for a regional, I think. And it's just been some people's go-to. I'm not a huge fan of it. Yes, it's super aggressive and it can hit hard, especially with the Renjis being able to deal double damage, and this one being able to help cycle and just do things. Again, it's a player's preference at the end of the day, but again, Renji Rush is pretty scary when it goes off, and you can clear a lot of security in one turn. Toto, just being Toto swap, as you know, just Toto being a threat that is double damage, but later in the game, once you get Ultimate Mecha Mario coming in with impact, and then, you know, being able to help remove sights, or, you know, characters with 35,000, which you can bring down with Koichi, those 4Ks down. Yeah, so the deck has a lot of great removal, and that's kind of the name of the game in some of these matchups. Now, we do have Roy Mustang as well. So taking a look here, everything looks good on the Roy package, right? I mean, you got Roy, Rizza's, they're all just doing their jobs. And again, deck is very solidly well placed, and getting 11th is no joke. Now, we do have Humpai Dallas 10th place. Joey shared this on his channel. Definitely check that out. But just taking a look, pretty solid across the board. Toto swap is just Toto swap. Now we do have Yellow Saitama with none other than Hellish Blizzard. Not a lot of people were expecting, you know, Yellow Saitama to reach what? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth place. Again, a lot of people have written off Yellow Saitama because they figured it was too slow, but the meta was just perfect for it. Saitama's a very hard threat to remove, and under a right pilot can very much be scary to deal with. So again, I think Yellow Saitama is well placed. Now we do have another Kento list, which is not terrible, actually. I think Kento getting love is really awesome. I think a lot of players sleep on Kento a bit sometimes, but it's really great to see Kento getting the tender love and care it deserves. I like that it's Sukuna, Kento just being able to control the board and just keep your opponents off, you know, off the advantage point. You know, all characters with 15,000 or more BP on your opponent's front line loses 1,000. You know, if you have 15 or less cards in your deck, draw one card, reduce the BP of everything. You know, that's kind of cool. Just being able to keep things off the board. You know, Kento being able to make sure that your trades are favorable. Always amazing. Green One Punch Man, again, just wait and see kind of deck. This deck does a lot of good things with the ability with Saitama. You know, you have Silver Fang being a 45, which is hard to answer sometimes. And then you have like King that can't do anything in the front line besides just helping remove, you know, a threat when it's played, which again is not bad of a thing to happen, right? The fact that he generates energy in the front line really does help out. And again, we'll just have to see where the meta shifts up, right? Now we do have another Renji Rush list. Did extremely well, taking 2 top 8 finishes and nothing to scoff at, guys. And just, again, great removal package and just the aggression that it can give. Now we do have Toto swap yet again. And they did play one Kiwama, if I remember correctly, or I'll double check that. Might have had this saved from something that wasn't supposed to, but it'll be updated on the list if it's not supposed to be like that. Taking a look here, we do have, you know, the big boys, Kenpachi, Zaraki, which Shin and stuff like that. This deck, really scary deck. Kenpachi not easily removed by DP minusing, so that means a lot of purple decks are written off. But again, if you have good decent removal, you can deal with it. But the fact that once, you know, he's killed, he can play the body under him, right? So this leads into combo plays that Kenpachi just can deal a lot of damage. And just when he's played, he's a double damage and a 5k. Really hard to remove him. Now we do have Lancelot. They did tech in one Euphemia and 2 of the unit maintenance. Not a bad tech choice. Euphemia just being another just good opening hand target, because if you get a 0 and Euphemia, you can at least still go off. I think a lot of people just want a 13 like low ends, because as long as they see a 0 and a Euphemia for 1, or just 2 zeros, and they can pop off, right? So that's just some things that players kind of need for tricks, because again, if you're not playing Euphemia on top of it and you're using Unimatids, sometimes it becomes a challenge, which I've ran into the past. Roy Mustang getting second place. Not bad, guys. Doing great work with it. Playing 1 Edward, just, again, not a terrible thing. By placing 2 cards from your hand, he gains impact, which can be a big threat. When you add 1 card to your life to your area, to your hand, if you do switch this character active. And then we do have the final Lancelot, which played Britannia Soldiers, which is not bad for, you know, 0 costs, is just to be able to make sure you have a consistent opening hand, right? Because again, once you get live with your double energy generators, you're going to town, right? So it's kind of cool that where they went with it. So I definitely expect more great things. But all in all, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.